All right, dear. So you said you switched locations?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of the best background.
Whatever.
Okay.
No, you're fine.
If you stand over there, that's fine. Because I'd like to see everything that you have.
Do you mind if I dig in? You guys can
So we've visited 3 other new suppliers before you. 2 yesterday and then 1 before today.
Okay.
The lady that we went to before is Mo Tribe, formerly Northern Pride Smocks.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we just got back we just visited Mobile Rico.
Oh, today.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, we have one meeting in the morning and then 1 meeting in the afternoon. So here we are. And so again, you said you moved because of the pandemic?
Yeah, so the thing is, I started this by working with independent artisans, but it wasn't feasible because they were not using the kind of things I wanted to do and how I wanted it to be.
I see.
And during the pandemic, we had a place in East Legon given to us because I was part of this creatives incubator. But
Really?
when the pandemic shut, they couldn't pay for the space anymore, and I didn't know where to pay from. So I also didn't have the capital to rent a space because in Ghana, to rent a space, you have to pay a 1-year lease.
Up front.
Instead
Yes.
of the monthly charges. So I decided to move here and come use the family property. So a year ago, when we moved here, it was literally just that building. It wasn't walled.
Oh, really?
It didn't have I can send you a picture of what
Yeah.
it looked like.
Okay.
It wasn't walled. It was just sand in that building. So when I moved here, I was like, I need a quiet space that I can do it and eventually transform a space into where we can make different things from. So we walled this in the pandemic. So during the lockdown, we spent the lockdown here most of the time to do the wall and put in some grass and some plants, and we erected this structure because people were living in there, and obviously I couldn't take them out
Yes.
because it's a family. So I spoke to my aunt and we got this container where she wasn't using anymore.
Nice.
So we repurposed it to transform it into this space so that as we make more money, then we can think of how best we can transform this space into a fashion studio where we can expand. So that's what we did during the pandemic for us. Yeah.
So do you think it's worked out better for you because of the pandemic?
Yes, it actually did, because it gave us enough time to own our own space rather than always relying on hoping that we can afford a space.
I see.
And also with this place, the artisans are able to sleep there, so the people who work here sleep over there as well. So
Okay.
no issues with being late.
That's good.
No issues with being late. So it's been great. I mean, there have been a lot of challenges being here as well because of the location as well, but I enjoy it. It's been great.
So how many people do you employ?
So currently full-time is 2, but part-time is 3, so we are 5. The reason why we have part-time is we tend to get bulk orders for events, and sometimes some of these people are also trying to just make a living. So I try to start with a part-time before I make it a full-time, just to understand the work culture as well, and also how we do things.
So how you think, and let them get acclimated to their work environment. I see. That's good. So typically how long after they're part-time do they become full-time? Does it
6
depend?
months.
6 months. Okay. I see. And so are you scaling?
Yes.
Are you currently scaling now in terms of production?
Yeah, so currently we are actually entering into the fashion space because what I'm wearing like this is tie and dye. So we have a lady we make all these things with at Oyarifa, but instead of outsourcing here, somewhere this month actually, we are trying to bring the structure here so that we can make our own tie and dye here ourselves. It's been in the works for a really long time. I've just not put it out there because we're doing a lot of R&D for my business, and I'm also part of another creative incubator. So by the end of September, we are hoping to get some seed funding to expand this place. So that is why it looks like this. But there's been a lot of works, and I'm always pitching at different things to raise money because I have a very good idea of what I want to make this space.
And how old are you, dear?
Why?
We always ask the age because we see
'cause
young.
it's amazing
entrepreneurs
how
out here
so
compared to
many
what we see in
so
the
many
US.
young people are moving forward so fast.
Out here, we want to know
Really?
Yes.
what is the
I
drive.
think it's also because of the economy. You know, like most of my friends struggle to get jobs right after school. So if you're passionate about something, you're inspired to go for it because at least with that, you know you have a shot. But getting jobs here these days is really, really hard. And even if you do, it takes a really long time to make the kind of money that you're able to start a family with. So I think that is what it is. Well, from my circle, yeah. from my
Okay, so how old are you?
Duh, she won't say. She will not say 20s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we like.
Late 20s.
27.
She's trying to guess it. No worries, Ma.
Okay, you're in your 20s. We'll leave it at that. Okay, so by you being in your 20s and you have a degree in what?
Business administration.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that's,
Business
I think,
administration.
that's the second person we've met that
Yes,
has a B.
that has a business
Yeah.
administration degree. Okay. So the reason why we ask is because we find that in America there's a lot of schools. They go to school, but they don't want to. The jobs are not available for them after they do out of school. In
And-
sense, you know.
Well, yeah, but more so now, recently with the COVID, there are a lack of people who want to work.
They don't want to work anymore.
But specifically, I think it's because they have not been paying, the employers haven't been paying as much. But now, at least in our area, they're certainly more willing to pay much, much more.
Right.
And I think also, that's kind of turning over now because of school debt. Students rack up a bunch of school debt,
Yeah.
massive amounts, and they're burdened fundamentally for the rest of their lives. So it's really refreshing to see people,
Right.
young or old,
Right.
striking out on their own beyond what they've been educated for, or even within that degree program. It's nice.
Yeah, that's the challenge here because even here, getting the startup capital is very, very, very tough. For me, I basically didn't have enough. I think I started with about 500 CDs. But what saved me was my university at the time had an event and with MasterCard, and they needed like over 1,000 souvenirs. So that made me get enough money, and that is why I keep participating in these accelerators and incubators. 'Cause at the end of the day, like the one I'm in right now, it ends in September. We are really hoping to get about some $10,000, so that with that we're able to. So I'll really encourage young people to look out for these incubators because in 2019, 2020, I was in one. So that's what gave me a little bit of money to do the walling and at least get the place started. So it's the ecosystem here in Ghana doesn't give you money for like
Yes.
businesses or pitching because in 2019 through this program I went to Ohio and we did a little bit of pitching, so that's how we got money. But here in Ghana you don't.
Right.
So I'll rather encourage most young people to look at what other entrepreneurial ecosystems are having to start up. And also if you don't get the money, I think you should just start sharing what you do.
Yes.
You never know.
So, are there a lack of microfinance corporations or companies here?
They won't give you money unless your business is like it's
Doing
past
really,
the
really
startup phase.
Really?
They can see really good financial statements and projections. No one is going to give you money for a startup in Ghana. We don't have that ecosystem here at all.
Wow.
I'm really active in this space and I'm telling you it's very tough. Like last year I saw